George and I have been married 65 years.
Yeah, but it seems that it's only been 64 to me.
Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place.
My maternal great-grandmother came to Denver from Atlanta, Georgia in 1874. And Colorado was not a state at that time. It became a state in 1876. And we've been here ever since. See, Denver didn't have segregated schools, but they had what you call de facto segregation. De facto segregation, which meant there was desegregation in fact.
There is de facto segregation in the public schools in Milwaukee as in most of the other big cities of our country. And the only comment that I can make is that all people of goodwill must work together in a very vigorous and determined manner to solve this problem, which I think is a basic social evil.
In movie theaters, you had to sit in the balcony. Certain facilities would not serve you food or anything else.
50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free.
I was 15 when I came to Colorado. I had graduated high school in Beaumont, Texas, which is where I was born. And I had graduated as class salutatorian, received scholarships to many of the southern schools right there in Texas. But because of my age, my parents thought it best that I take up an offer from an uncle and aunt in Denver to come to Colorado and attend school because there were schools right here and I could stay at home. He sent me an application from Colorado Woman's College. They thought that would be fine, especially with me being only 15 years of age. The application was accepted and my uncle was told to let the college know when I got to Denver so they could come out and interview me. As soon as I got here, my uncle notified the college. An admissions officer came out to the house to interview me. That changed the picture altogether. He simply said, "You'll be hearing from the school in a few days." In a few days, I did receive a letter from Colorado Woman's College stating that they had never had a person of color to apply to the school, and the trustees did not feel it advisable at that time to enroll a black person. I think at that time we were called colored.
Now we are in a new phase, and that is a phase where we are seeking genuine equality, where we are dealing with hard economic and social issues.
The superintendent hired 3 assistant elementary school principals in Denver, and I was one of them. And I was assigned to Columbine Elementary School. And I stayed at Columbine for 2.5 years. And then I was moved to Wyatt Elementary School as principal. I stayed there 2.5 years. And then I was assigned to Cole Junior High School. And that was a terrific challenge because it was right after the death of Dr. Martin Luther King.
I have some very sad news for all of you, and I think sad news for all of our fellow citizens and people who love peace all over the world. And that is that Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis, Tennessee.
The school was in an uproar. There was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of violence still going on. And there were 2 organizations that were trying to bring about this idea of equality, but I think their approach was wrong. It was the Brown Berets, which was strictly a Hispanic group, and the Black Panthers, which was strictly a black group. And their approaches were much different than I think Dr. King would even approve of.
I feel that we will continue to have a nonviolent movement, and we will continue to find the vast majority of Negroes committed to nonviolence, at least as the best tactical approach, and from a pragmatic point of view as the best strategy in dealing with the problem of racial injustice.
So Cole Junior High School was a block away from the Black Panthers headquarters. And they had easy access to the school, and they were abusing that access by coming in and trying to just take over the school.
The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense calls upon the American people in general, and the black people in particular, to take careful note of the racist California legislature, which is now considering legislation aimed at keeping the black people disarmed and powerless. At the very same time, racist police agencies throughout the country are intensifying the terror, brutality, murder, and repression of black people.
I remember Dr. King's visit to Colorado in 1964. Our church, Shorter African Methodist Episcopal Church, was responsible for featuring Dr. King as the speaker at our Founders Day banquet. The banquet was on a Friday night. Saturday, he was in Littleton with the Littleton Community Relations Commission. Sunday, he spoke at the Macedonia Baptist Church. Sunday afternoon, he spoke at the Montview Presbyterian Church located in Park Hill. It was such an amazing crowd that speakers had to be set up on the outside because we were standing in a light snow on the outside to hear him speak at Montview, even though we'd heard him at our banquet on the previous Friday night. We were able to attend with our small children and hear him for a second time when he spoke at the Montview Presbyterian Church. His approach, as George stated, was something that we can all follow. That is the approach of nonviolence. Do whatever we find is necessary, but do it in a peaceful way. And I think that is the influence that Dr. King had upon us in all of our efforts that followed.
I don't see the answer to our problem in riots. So my slogan is not burn, baby, burn. My slogan is build, baby, build. Organize, baby, organize. Learn, baby, learn, so that you can earn, baby, earn.
We're depending upon your generation to continue the work that was started by my generation, by Dr. King's generation.
I know you're asking today, how long will it take? Somebody's asking, how long will prejudice blind the visions of men? I come to say to you this afternoon, however difficult the moment, yes, sir, however frustrating the hour, it will not be long, because truth crushed earth will rise again. Yes, sir. How long? Not long.
We have traveled long, but we have kept a positive view, knowing that the end result will be the right result.
And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
We extend our expressive and our most sincere gratitude to CCD and to Dr. Freeman for this opportunity and for this recognition. It's just overwhelming, and we are very humbled by it. And we want to give it to say to all of you at CCD and to Dr. Freeman, thank you. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for this opportunity and this recognition. Marjorie?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Freeman, faculty, staff, students. We love you all. Thank you.